Hello everyone, it is your Sakshi Ma'am this side. Before beginning with today's video, I want to ask you something. See, we are all born in this beautiful planet, and this beautiful nature has offered us all its beauty. Have you ever seen that nature has asked only men can eat the best of fruits? Or only women to be allowed to look at beautiful surroundings? We all know that the answer is no. So, today our topic is Standard 8's Lesson 2.2, whose title itself tells us the main topic of the lesson. It is Nature created men and women as equals. This is a brief write up about a progressive household in northeast India. In the write up, the mother discusses with her 12-year-old daughter the topic God created men and women as equals. The story begins by describing the surrounding or setting of the story. The story is set in the early morning of April. As the story is about a small discussion in a family, the writer describes the surrounding of their house. Their house is surrounded by green mountains and crystal clear stream is flowing down. A garden is in the front of the house and many different kinds of trees and plants are found there. We can understand that this is an Indian family, as the story mentions about incense sticks, that is agarbatti. So in the beginning, we are given a beautiful introduction that shows how their house is surrounded with beautiful nature and its scenery. We are introduced with three characters in the story. Ashangbi, our first main character. She is a middle-aged woman and a mother of 3 children. She is a journalist by profession and a women's rights activist. Our next important character is Tomba. Tomba is Ashangbi's husband. He is a supportive husband and a loving father. He is a lawyer and a social worker who advocates the cause of women. He is always proud of his wife, the 2 daughters, and the son. He extends his helping hand to his wife and children and to the society at large in the times of need. He does not discriminate between man's work and a woman's work anywhere. He shares the household chores equally with his wife, like cooking, washing, etc. Our next character is Lenthoy. Lenthoy is their youngest daughter. She is 12 years old. She is an intelligent girl. Now, the story begins when Ashangbi is in her reading room and is busy writing an article. Lanthoy, her daughter, was going to speak on the topic God created men and women as equals at her school. She wanted to have some discussion with her mother on this topic and seek her help. But before approaching her mother, she spoke to her father on the same topic. Tomba, her father, said that the world is still full of inequalities and we have to find ways to bring equality. Lenthoy informed Ashangbi of father's views on men and women's equality and inequalities. Ashangbi was appreciative of her husband's view on gender equality, and she feels grateful that she enjoys equal status only because of her husband's support. Ashangbi explained to Lanthoy that God has sent men and women to our earth to share joys and sorrows of life equally, to share His blessings and to enjoy the bounty of nature equally. So, men and women are equals and should not be treated as such. She adds that actually, life is not possible without both women and men. Her daughter, though she is a child, understands well that her mother is not a person of lesser quality than her father. And she says, "Our home is full of love with you, mother." Ashangbi beams with joy on hearing these words, as the mother is said to be the fountain of love in the family. This bond of love cannot be compared to anything else in the world. Motherhood has been glorified because of this, and therefore, women accept the challenges in life to become a mother. Lanthoy's grandmother narrated her many stories of the brave queens like Linthoyn Gambi and Kuranganyani, who were as brave as kings, and Lanthoy was fascinated by these stories. Modern women have become mountaineers, naturalists, astronauts, scientists, soldiers, and political leaders, which proves that there is nothing a woman cannot do. Also, that women and men were created as equals. Lanthoy further wished to know if there are moral, social, and legal provisions to ensure equality of men and women. So, Ashangbi then tells her the provisions in the Declaration of the United Nations. So, it has following dimensions: equal access to basic social services, including health and education. It means men and women have equal right to health and safety and to educate themselves. Equal participation in political and economic decision making. Equal reward for equal work. And elimination of discrimination and violence against women. That means women should not be discriminated on the basis of their gender, and there should be no violence against women. Lanthoy understands the topic well, and confident with her success, the next day she happily rushes out of the room. She is welcomed by the bright morning sun. The blue sky and range of mountains appear to meet. Lanthoy is fascinated by a small trail which goes winding up the distant purple mountain. This vision that Lanthoy sees symbolizes a positive and bright future for her and for the women of the country.
Gender inequality doesn't make sense on any level. By marginalizing the rights of women, we deny ourselves the opportunity to lift millions of men women and children out of poverty, not to mention the chance of a just and fair world. From birth, girls and boys, women and men are expected by society to play certain roles and behave in certain ways based on traditions, religion, and other beliefs. These behaviors are learned and shape the gender norms in a society. Unfortunately, in many countries, gender norms create disadvantages for women. Often, girls are not sent to school. When they become women, they then have limited ability to earn money or realize their potential. Rural women play a major role in agricultural development. However, in many developing countries, women cannot formally own land. Without land, they cannot get loans to invest in their farms or businesses. This also means they have no control over the use of land or the benefits that come from it. Men generally control the household decisions, like how to use the family's assets. These disadvantages are often reinforced by practices that limit women's access to services, like training. Cultural beliefs can also restrict women's opportunities, such as in parts of Zambia where women cannot paddle their boats as it is considered bad omen. The result of these issues? Women remain poor, and agricultural production cannot reach its potential, perpetuating poverty and hunger in the developing world. The social norms that limit women's opportunities need to be understood and then changed. By taking a gender transformative approach, we can influence social norms and bridge the gaps in access to resources and services between men and women in a lasting manner. Change is needed on many levels, and both men and women must be involved for it to happen. Research and development organizations need to invest in programs that promote gender equality alongside improving productivity and incomes. Policies need to be implemented that increase women's access to services and resources. Communities need to support women as farmers and as leaders. Increasing women's voice and agency is a valuable end in its own right. When development organizations, policies, and communities support the success of women, we have a chance to reduce extreme poverty and boost shared prosperity for girls and boys, women and men around the world.